much. This is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends in this incredible movement. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. Oh. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes. But it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Winning the popular vote was very nice, I will tell you. It's a great feeling of love. We have a great feeling of love in this very large room with unbelievable people standing by my side. These people have been incredible. They've made the journey with me, and we're going to make you very happy. We're going to make you very proud of your vote. I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people beyond the president, this group of great people. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good. And the Senate races in Montana, Nevada, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, were all won by the MAGA movement. They helped so much. And in those cases, every one of them, we worked with the senators. They were tough races, and I mean, the number of victories in the Senate was absolutely incredible. And we did tele-rallies. We did tele-rallies with each one of them. And Sometimes we did 2 or 3 and it was amazing to look at all of those victories. Nobody expected that, nobody. So I just wanted to thank you very much for that. And you have some great senators and some great new senators. And it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives. And I want to thank Mike Johnson. I think he's doing a terrific job. Terrific job. I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady. Who has the #1 best-selling book in the country. Can you believe that? Oh, no, she's done a great job, works very hard to help people. So I just want to thank her. But I want to thank my whole family, my amazing children, and they are amazing children. Now, we all think our children are amazing. Everybody here thinks their children are amazing, but that's a good thing when you think they are. But Don, Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Barron, Laura, Jared, Kimberly, Michael, thank you all. What a help. What a great. My father-in-law, Victor, is tremendous. And we miss very much Melania's mother, Amalia. We miss Amalia, don't we, huh? She would be very happy right now, standing on this stage. She'd be so proud. She was a great woman, that one. Beautiful inside and out. She was a great woman. I want to be the first to congratulate our great, now I can say, Vice President-elect of the United States, J.D. Vance. And his absolutely remarkable and beautiful wife, Usha Vance. And he's a feisty guy, isn't he? You know, I've said, go into the enemy camp. And you know, the enemy camp is certain networks. And a lot of people don't like to, sir, do I have to do that? He just goes, okay. Which one? CNN, MSDNC? He'll say, all right, thank you very much. He actually looks like, he's like the only guy I've ever seen. He really looks forward to it. And then he just goes and absolutely obliterates them. Say a couple of words.
Wow. Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me. And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America. And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
Thank you very much. He's turned out to be a good choice. I took a little heat at the beginning, but he was, I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets. And we love the family, and we're going to have a great 4 years, and we're going to turn our country around, make it something very special. It lost that little thing called special. We have to make it so. We're going to make this so great. It's the greatest country and potentially the greatest country in the world by far. And right now we're going to just work very hard to get all of that back. We're going to make it the best it's ever been. We can do that. If we had to wait longer, I don't know. It was going bad, and it was going bad fast. We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. Let me also express my tremendous appreciation for Susie and Chris, the job you did. Susie, come here. Come here, Susie. Chris, come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The Ice Maiden, we call her the Ice Maiden. Want to say something? Come here, Chris. Come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background. Come here, Susie.
This wasn't expected, but I just want to thank, obviously, President Trump for this journey. It was a great one, and he's a hell of a candidate. And he's going to be a hell of a great 47th president. And this team that we had, the best team, and of course, even my boss, Susie Wiles, the best. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Susie. Look at her, she's shot. I've never seen her be shot before. Susie. They're great. Everybody up here is great. Everybody up here is very special. But the Trump, who did you say? Oh, let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. Now he is. Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of Pennsylvania campaigning. You know, he sent the rocket up 2 weeks ago, and I saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it. When it left, it was beautiful, shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour, and it was burning like hell. I said, what happened to your paint job? He said, we've never made a paint that could withstand that kind of heat. And but I saw it come down and turn around. And it was, you know, it's like 22 stories tall, by the way. It looks a little smaller than that, but it's big. And it came down, and you saw that fire burning. And I'm saying, only Elon can do this. It must be an Elon. And I tell the story. I told it last night. I had a man on the phone. I had the screen muted, no sound. I was talking to a very important man, happens to be here. And that very important guy, one of the most important people in, I would say, the country, actually. But, you know, I was president, and now it looks like I was going to be maybe president again. So I figured I could ask him to hold. So I asked him to hold. And especially because you're going to be president again, they hold. So I took the phone down, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing this crazy thing that's going around and coming down. It looks like it's going to crash into the gantry. And I said, oh, no. And I said, do me a favor. Do you mind holding for a couple of minutes? I want to see this. I thought it was a space age movie or something. I put the phone down. Bad part, I didn't pick it up for 45 minutes, and he was holding. But this spaceship came down, and I saw those engines firing, and it looked like it was over. It was going to smash. And then I saw the fire pour out from the left side, and it put it straight. And it came down so gently, and then it wrapped those arms around it, and it held it. And just like you hold your baby at night, your little baby. And it was a beautiful thing to see. And I called Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, yes, it was. I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No, nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great. And you know, when we had the tragic Hurricane Helene, and it hit North Carolina, they were really devastated. The water, this was a big water, as big as we've ever seen, water hurricane. It built lakes out of nothing. Fields became lakes, and the danger was unbelievable. And the people from North Carolina came to me and they said, would it be possible, at all possible, for you to speak to Elon Musk? We need Starlink. I said, what's Starlink? It's a form of communication. So I called Elon, And I'll tell you what, he had, and it was very dangerous. People would die. They had no communication. All the wires were down. I called Elon Musk. I said, Elon, you have something called Starlink. Is that right? Yes, I do. What the hell is it? He said, it's a communication system that's very good. I said, Elon, they need it really, really badly in North Carolina. Can you get it? He had that there so fast. It was incredible. So, and it was great. It saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives. But he's a character. He's a special guy. He's a super genius. We have to protect our geniuses. We don't have that many of them. We have to protect our super geniuses. I want to thank some of the guys. You know, we have up here today the U.S. Open champion. He's a fantastic golfer. Slightly longer than me. It's a little bit longer than me. Just a little bit. Bryson DeChambeau is up here someplace. What happened to Bryson? Where is he? Bryson. Oh, he was shot. He's hitting balls. Oh, he's on the way. He's hitting balls. Bryson. Oh, look at him. He's got a great career going. Great U.S. Open, Bryson. That's a fantastic job. And we also have a man, Dana White, who has done some job. He's a tough guy. So Dana started UFC and came to me, do you mind if I use your, nobody wanted to give him a rinse because they said it's a rough sport, a little rough. And I helped him out a little bit, and I went, and they said, this is the roughest sport I've ever seen, but I began to like it, and he loved it, and nobody's done a better job in sports. And you know, he's a very motivational kind of a guy, what he does. He gets these fighters, and they really go at it, and it's become one of the most successful sports enterprises anywhere at any time. It's doing so well. I'd like to ask Dana just to say a couple of words because people love to hear from him. Dana,
please. Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hardworking man I've ever met in my life. His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a family. I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelk boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn, Bustin' with the Boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan. And thank you, America. Thank you. Have a good night.
That is a piece of work. No, he's really an amazing guy. But most of all, I want to thank the millions of hardworking Americans across the nation who have always been the heart and soul of this really great movement.
Uh-oh, they sabotaging Trump?
We're gonna pay you back. We're gonna do the best job. We're gonna turn it around. It's got to be turned. Be good, safe. We want great education. We want a strong and powerful military, and ideally we don't have to use it. You know, we had no wars. 4 years we had no wars, except we defeated ISIS. We defeated ISIS in record time, but we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. But this is also a massive victory for democracy and for freedom. Together, we're going to unlock America's glorious destiny. We're going to achieve the most incredible future for our people. Yesterday, as I stood at my last stop on the campaign trail, I'll never be doing a rally again. Can you believe it? I think we've done 900 rallies approximately from them. Can you imagine? 901 something, a lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people, I said, this is our last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important, because the rallies were used for us to be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. And I said that many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason. And that reason was to save our country and to restore America to greatness. And now we are going to fulfill that mission together. We're going to fulfill that mission. The task before us will not be easy, but I will bring every ounce of energy, spirit, and fight that I have in my soul to the job that you've entrusted to me. This is a great job. There's no job like this. This is the most important job in the world. Just as I did in my first term, we had a great first term, a great first term. I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try. We're going to try. We have to try. And it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. I've seen that. I saw that in the first term when we became more and more successful. People started coming together. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it, because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, it's my turn to speak. Of course, I thought Kamala was going to win. I was like, there's no way the Democrats going to let Trump win. But he won the election because they lost the election, meaning the Democrats and the left blew this. They blew it. Now, how did they blow this election? One, by not having a candidate for the first half of the election. This election started with Joe Biden and switched to Kamala Harris. Nobody elected her. She hadn't won an election. She didn't have to win an election to be vice president. She didn't win elected to be elected to run for president. They chose her halfway in the election. This was a major thing that the Democrats screwed up. And when they first did the switch, things looked good. The Democratic Party was rejuvenated, numbers shot up, and for Black women, this was ideal for them. They loved Kamala Harris. A lot of them identify like, all right, we getting a girl up in there, my girl Kamala Harris. And then something happened. Something strange started to happen. She was speaking not to us, but about us, but not to us. So it left a mark that we felt left out. Black men felt left out of the Kamala Harris plan. Black people felt like, can I trust this woman? They ran on identity politics, which I thought was a mistake. You should have ran on policy. They made a mistake early in this campaign of how can you vote for that man in Donald Trump when you have to sell yourself, Kamala Harris. Vice President Kamala Harris should have sold herself because we don't really know you. Unless you're from the Bay, you don't really know her. So you don't trust her, or you don't have any idea of what she stands for. Now, morally, yes, she's definitely morally better than Trump. You know, we automatically know she's better than Trump morally. You know, Trump is only loyal to the dollar. Now, if we're looking at a situation, she's more diplomatic for the job than having someone that is an emotional, reactionary person like Trump. You know, that would go left. Now, moving forward, you know, I've seen things that are way worse. Mr. Lovell, you're definitely way off the reservoir. Yes, I thought she would win it, but to say Trump is better is a far stretch. But because I have no way of knowing if he's better, because she's never been the president of the United States. So how can you say someone's better? Better at campaigning, yes. Now, here's the rest of the mistakes that were made. First of all, not addressing policy too late in the game. You waited way too late to try to appease to the people once they started getting early poll results, seeing that they didn't have a large chunk of the African American people, mostly Black men, were not voting for her or undecided. Like, I don't know. And when those focus polls was coming out, people started to see what in the world was going on. What is happening? Why are Black men on the fence about this? They couldn't believe it. They just felt like, well, we get the Black women, Black men are going to go along with whatever it is. So just pitch to Black women and go over things that concern Black women. Forget what Black men are concerned about. Turn a closed eye to them. They're going to vote because Black people are going to say, hey, that's Trump. We just need to focus on voting against Trump. And that's bad because you're running for president of the United States of America. So what you have to do is to relate to everybody. by stating things that affects everybody, not black women, not black men, it's a whole group of people that have issues that need addressing. And they vote. And yes, you want to win these states, but you have to be related to what's going on in each city, each state. This city might have a real big problem with the workers union. This place here, oh, they got a real problem over here with jobs, and they're scarce. They're real scarce right now with these jobs. And people are like, man, I just got laid off. Warehouses are closing down. So this came down to economics, the economy. While they try to make it black and white, it came down to the economy. They didn't trust her plan with the economy. And Steve Jobs' wife, who's her biggest contributor, her money couldn't help push this thing to the finish line. Who the hell watches The View? The View is gonna be lit today. The View? The hell? Well, yeah, well, it's hard. Oh, well, you got to understand that this is a dynamic that's been going on for quite a few times. People all want instant justice. When there's no instant justice, what do you think is going to happen to the rest of the world? No justice, no peace, right? It's the end of the world. It's the end of times. No. They used identity politics. They used identity politics, and they waited all the way to the last minute when Barack Obama comes out and blames black men, saying black men didn't want a woman to be president, and tried to scare black men into voting for Kamala Harris. When it is clear, this election has shown you one thing. It wasn't just black men. There were black women and a lot of white women who did not vote for Kamala Harris. The polls are showing you that this went from a close race to almost a landslide for Trump. She was losing the campaign as it was going forward. So she brought out Oprah. They brought out Beyonce. They brought out all of these people, D.L. Hewley, Van Jones, all of these people that pander to the left's dollar. instead of focusing on policy, focused on the economy. They focused on that. Well, it doesn't matter because she's never won an election. She ran for president against Joe Biden and lost. And people was like, well, who are you? They didn't know her. Then she was chosen for vice president. Then she ran here and she lost because she never won an election because she doesn't really know how to campaign. In the last 2 weeks leading up to this election is when she started to hit home and started to connect with the people. And I want to sit down and have discussions. I want to sit down here. That's the only time she made really any grounds to communicate with the people besides doing a puff piece where they just throw softball questions down the line. Only in the last 2 weeks. But not a lot of the American people care about the Breakfast Club. A lot of them people don't care about them. She sat down with all the smoke. She went on Club Shay Shay. She went on all of these platforms to try to connect to us 2 weeks before the election. When we are the sleeping giant, that domino effect, had she got 90% of the black vote, she would be president of the United States of America. She did not achieve 90% of the black vote. If she got 80%, I'm shocked. When they see all those numbers, you're going to see how she lost it. Biden had 90%. That's a lie. Oh, it's not a lie, Lorraine Dick. This, I could tell you just have no clue. Lo, you just reactionary. Lorraine, anybody who gets 90% of the black vote, they win president of the United States of America. Biden had 92% African American votes when he ran. 92% of the black vote went towards Joe Biden. Barack Obama had 94% African American vote. That's a lie. For Kamala to win, she needed to have at least, they thought, 87% in that area. She was at 78% before Barack Obama went running out there to make that speech. Because now it became a situation of, whoa, wait a minute. These polls are saying this isn't good. Trump won the popular vote. Why? Because he's popular. No one knows Kamala Harris like that. She was vice president and you barely saw her. When she was vice president for 4 years, how many times did you see her? How many times did she give a speech? Where was she at visiting businesses? What did she do? The general public did not know who she was or what it is that she did. Identity politics isn't going to work anymore. That's over with. You spent all that money, all that people. I hope you got your money's worth. Cardi B, I hope you got your check. Oh, yes, see, because my check came in the mail and they had problem. I had to read it through our phone. Hope you got your mail. Megan Thee Stallion, I hope you got your bag for twerking. Talking about my girl, Kamala. I hope all you AKAs, got y'all little moment in the sun. Because at the end of the day, the people who vote, y'all didn't push the needle. Y'all did not move the needle. That spoke volumes. Beyonce didn't move the needle. They said, oh, we'll jam to Beyonce. They'll go to her concert. But for politics, they're not going to move the needle. D.L. Hewley, Vance Jones, these people are not moving the needle. If I'm going to address the people of the world, I'm not going to go on Club Shay Shay and talk to Shannon Sharp, who's not political, who knows nothing about really politics whatsoever. Just because they have a large platform doesn't mean this is the best thing for you. You got to get on a platform that speak to the people. They underestimate people's level of intelligence. And once you're trying to go to the level of the small-minded people are going to do what small-minded people do, period. You think Trump is out there campaigning the West Virginianers? He's not going to do that. He's not going to go to the trailer homes in West Virginia and have a beer, sitting in the chair with them having a beer. You don't have to. You know those West Virginianers are going to vote his way anyway. So he ain't got to do nothing for him. How many celebrities spoke up for Trump since the rally? None. Unless you believe Aiden Ross is a celebrity, Joe Rogan podcast. Why is Joe Rogan podcast different? Joe Rogan podcast talks political. They talk about a lot of different things. It is not Club Shay Shay. What Kamala Harris should have did was say, okay, if I'm going to go on Club Shay Shay, I got to go on Joe Rogan. You got to go and battle on the other person's playground. I'm not just going to sit on Fox Network and talk. I'm going to go on the platforms that's there to defend you. I'm going to let your listeners know what it is that I stand for and what you stand for. You were in a fight. Now, she smoked him in the debate because Trump can't debate with her. He's going to lose that every time. She smoked him in the debate because she's a politician. He isn't. He's a WWE character. Trump's not going to have to go on Club Shay Shay because he don't have to. You see, you don't do things you don't have to. He doesn't have to go over there because what is Club Shay Shay going to do for him? They don't talk politics on Club Shay Shay. So anybody who cares about the outcome of the country and all of the election, why would they be on Club Shay Shay? They don't do that. People that care about the economy and things like that, they watch CNN, they watch MSNBC, they watch the news. They want to see the Money Network, Bloomberg reports. Those are the people that they're trying to connect to because these are the ones that's going to go out to the polls mainly. But we watch Club Shay Shay because mostly African Americans watch it because we want to see what's happening with all of this salacious gossip, rumors, who's going to say this and that. Now, not blaming Club Shay Shay for being what it is and what the platform is. Congratulations to Shannon Sharp, but that's not going to move the needle. Joe Rogan talks politics. They talk a lot of different entities on there. Van Jones why did she go on All the Smoke podcast? Trying to identify with black people. I told you what was happening before it happened. I said, here she comes. Once Barack Obama made the speech, I did the video, and boy, did I get in trouble for that. But I did the video saying, oh, here it comes. She's finna go on her whole Black Week, and she's finna go on a whole Black run because they're seeing the numbers, and they're seeing what I see. 78% of the Black vote right now, and that's not good. You're not gonna win the White House. You're gonna have to be in the high 80s to have that Black vote up there. What happens when you don't have that? You lose Pennsylvania. You lose Michigan. You lose Wisconsin. You lose Ohio. You lose the election. You can't have the Black vote be 50-50. She's not a Black American. Well, that's another thing too. Her identity and her was on trial, and people online and her not having a real online presence. Like I said yesterday when I went to the polls, Trump had a guy, it was a Palestinian dude, a Pakistani rather, at the door with a Trump hat on, handing out pamphlets as you go in. Hey, are you doing? I'm like, hey, go in here to vote. I want to give you some information before you go in to vote today. Have a good day. I'm like, man, he got on a Make America Great hat on. I said, wow. Kamala Harris don't have anybody out here. I'm like, she better get to work. Trump is out here working the doors. He got people on the doors handing out pamphlets to give you some information saying, look, this is what we want. This is what they want. This is what we about. That's what they about. I'm like, man. So he, before you walk in there, he giving you pamphlets. But we love a show. We love to see Beyonce was there. Cardi B showed up. It was who she finna bring out next. Then she bring out Oprah. Ah, Oprah. This is who you bring out to say this is the best of us. This is what represents us. Cardi B don't represent us. Where were the black men you was gonna bring out? Who were the prominent black men that you brought out to speak to us? We saw Beyonce. We saw, who was the black men you brought out? D.L. Hewley? Plies? Ricky Smiley? Where was Jay-Z? You brought Beyonce out. Where was Jay? You see what I'm saying? You were losing with the black male vote. And you see why. That's like saying, why didn't Trump campaign to the black markets? He actually did. But you know what he concentrated on? Black men. That's who he spoke to. And you know what he did? He campaigned. Now, all of this, I'm going to give black jobs crap. I don't know. Y'all gonna have to worry about that. But he campaigned to black men. He went to Detroit. And when they did, they campaigned to black men. They didn't campaign to black women. They were speaking to black men and saying, this is what we're about. This, and this, and that. And black men was like, hey, I like what they're saying. She's not talking about anything. Well, she was evasive. With every question that was simple to answer, you never got a simple answer out of her. You was like, well, the people want to know, what could you provide to the table if they elect you as president of the United States of America? What can we expect from Kamala Harris? Well, you know, I was a young girl. I grew up. I was cooking greens in the bathtub, you know. And it's like, okay. Well, what do you think about foreign policy? And foreign policy is something, you know, when I was a young girl, I was a biracial mixed girl. Growing up, you're never gonna get an answer out of her. You can say, well, which one you want? You want beer or wine? Well, when I was a young girl coming up, you're never gonna get an answer. In America, when you do that, America seems like we can't trust you. Trump, no matter how ignorant and idiotic he sounds, completely idiotic, and he talks like a third grader, he's direct. So even though his answers are that of a talking mummy, it's direct. So people, the regular American person, can recognize that and go with it. That's why they relate to him. He's like a WWE character. He comes right out and like, yeah, we did good today. You know, we did really, really good. And they did really, really bad. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do some good things in the White House. Yeah, good things. Good things. Yeah, better times are coming. Yeah, I told you we're gonna clean it all up. We're gonna get the jobs. Yeah, get the jobs. What we're gonna do. I'm like, there's nothing. Everything that he does and says doesn't matter. It's cliches, fake news. It's all fake. Shut up. No. Yeah, he talks like a child would talk, but it's direct. Kids and children speak directly. They tell you exactly what they want when they're kids. They have no filter. They don't know to be guarded. Kids just say what they want. I want some food. I want some food. I want some food. And then you said I can have it. You know, like they come right out. That's Trump. So when you see somebody that speak direct, you be like, man, this dude is stupid. This Trump dude, man. But yeah, he be telling the truth. That's how guys think, because he's speaking directly. No matter how crazy it sounds. And they be like, man, Trump funny. I swear to God, people voted for Trump because they thought he was funny. People actually went to the polls and voted for Donald Trump because they thought he was funny. Not that he got plans for the United States or anything. They thought he was funny and they don't like her. That was it. That's all they needed. Man, I don't like her, man. I don't trust that chick. Trump funny. Remember how Trump said, what did Trump say about her last time? Dog, is what they like. He's been in the WWE. He's worked with Vince McMahon. This is a womanizer. An admitted womanizer. Didn't care about womanizing. He said, I knew they was doomed when they picked Waltz over Shapiro, the governor of the most important battleground state of the election. Exactly. Taking Tim Waltz was a bad decision. Josh Shapiro probably didn't want to run with her no way. But yeah, you're going to go against the guy with the biggest battleground state in the election. Everybody, every expert thought that Josh Shapiro was going to be the running mate. Alex, you brought up a very good point because a lot of people thought that she was going to take Shapiro. A lot of politics went into that Tim Walz situation. And there's some that's telling me that they weren't all unified as a Democratic Party because they weren't. Joe Biden really don't like Kamala Harris, and her people, they felt like her people that she had on her side, on the Democrats, was pushing against supporting Joe and was pushing Joe out of the election. So that's what I'm saying. You had an insurgence happening inside of the Democratic Party, and it cost them everything. And they was like, look, we're going to lose this thing. We keep backing Joe all the way down the line. Joe's like, no, we stay the course. We're going to win this thing. It's like, Joe, we're not. Half of America's think that you can't stand up straight. You're falling down all over the place. This is only going to get worse 4 more years of this. And after that debate, you was like spinning in circles, confused. We cannot have this. Yeah, misogyny is back in the White House. They bringing it back to the old days. Dana White, smacking up women, womanizing. Okay. He's a great guy now. How many inaccurate statements he made? Dana White did not start the UFC. Dana White started the UFC. It was a really rough sport, but they're doing better than ever now. No, they're not. He doesn't even own the UFC. Dana never owned the UFC. It's been sold 2 times since Dana White's been there. But that's Trump being Trump, man. It's just what it is. He just talks. Right. Ari Emanuel owns it. Who supports the Democrat. So the man that owns UFC and the WWE which is Endeavor. You can call it TKO or whatever, but it's Endeavor. They hired Dana White to run it and do what he does. Just stay there and keep running it. But we own it. And the numbers have been dwindling down. This is why the Furtadas got out when it was at its highest point. They knew it was downhill after Conor McGregor left because there was no more stars in the UFC. Yeah. Dana White is not even focused on the UFC no more. Only thing he cares about now is this slapping contest. He's backed this whole slapping contest. And it's the fastest growing thing. It's faster than UFC. Yeah, guys get up and they slap each other, right? They stand in front of each other. They're slapping each other. And man, people are coming in and packing the doors to say this. It's a great sport. I got to create sports where there's no black guys that can dominate it. We need more white guys dominating sports. So we got a slapping contest. Then they had a brother coming in there slapping everybody out silly. So I couldn't be in there. You slap me one time and it's going into a fight. There ain't going to be no contest. Man, these people have been slapped so hard, they broke people's jaws. Some people's muscles relaxed in somebody's face. It's just bad. It's not even a sport. It's just really silly. And I'm just like, this is crazy. Yeah. Now, what's the next step? Trump is now the president of the United States of America, the 47th president of the United States of America for his last term. Well, and we have to see what happens after that. But yeah, so far, you got 4 years of Trump. Now, for all of you who elected Trump, I want y'all to hold his feet to the fire, because y'all said, hey, where the jobs at, right? These migrants y'all been complaining about. And I'm talking to the brothers. Project 2025. Well, Project 2025 wasn't his. So he never stood by Project 2025. He never ran on the campaign of Project 2025. That's why I don't understand why the Democrats kept bringing it up, knowing that he did not claim that. But some of the people that he worked with on his campaign, including that weird dude who used to be his speaker the last time he was there, they drafted that together and tried to present that to Trump. But he never made that part of his campaign, because some of the things that's in Project 2025 is so insane. It don't even make sense. Now, I don't want to see Trump rolling off of what Biden them already got in place, like he did with Obama. Now you got to actually stand and show. You got the job again, so you're not going to jail. You got your get out of jail free card. Now let's see. The brothers stood up for you. The brothers came out and supported you, Trump. You got the brothers back. They came out and they voted for you. You got a high vote of white women. White women did not vote for Kamala Harris this year. Even with the, reproductive rights thing with the abortion, they cracked the whole barrel. Oh yeah, they did. They cracked the whole barrel with white women. White women, normally when Biden ran, a lot of white women voted for Joe Biden. White women did not vote for Kamala Harris. I want to see them, because they're going to try to blame black men for the reason that Kamala Harris didn't win. I want to see you blame those white women, because that's where you lost too. You didn't get the white women vote. Elon Musk said he's going to cut $2 trillion off the budget. Well, that's cool. But who's on the budget? It ain't going to come trickling down to us. Now, when you see that $2 trillion, you don't see $2 trillion cut from the budget, but where the hell that money going? That's the problem. They're going to be like, we're slashing this debt in half. It'll be like, then why am I broke? I don't care about the budget. if it ain't selling me, my property taxes is going up. I'll be like, hey, what's going on here? You notice gas is low? Do you know why gas was low? Because it was an election week. This was the week to fill up the tank. So that lets you know that they could control the prices of stuff. That was always in their control when they saying we're going to control over this price gouging. And when I'm in office, we're going to do that. That was bad because you're already in office. You're the vice president of the United States. So the price gouging thing, and you said you're going to do something once you get in there. I'm like, you already got the power to stop price gouging. So if that was the case, why do you have to be the president to do it? You right next to the president. You're the vice president. So that didn't resonate over with a lot of American people. And some people are just flat out racist, misogynistic and racist people. But you knew you were going to be dealing with them. you don't even talk to them. They're not even reasonable. They just want to vote for a white man, and anybody of color, woman, black, whatever, they just gonna vote the way they want. I call them West Virginians. But that's basically all you can call them. West Virginians or Indiana. You know, you don't even waste time campaigning with them. What in the hell you going to? And that's the thing, though, for you West Virginians. Let me talk to y'all West Virginians for a minute. Do you think what happens at the top of the food chain, the president of the United States of America, do you think whoever y'all vote for to elect is going to give a rat's ass about West Virginia? No. They're not caring about you in your trailer and you sitting out there in an aluminum damn folding chair next to a garbage can that's on fire. And you pitching, right, you pitching playing horseshoes with toilet seats in your yard as entertainment. With a dog that's on a damn leather strap nail attached to a damn nail that's hammered into the damn ground. No, they're not worried about you. Nothing that they talking about in the policy, and none of that has anything to do with you. So y'all racist West Virginians, you have nothing in common with the White House and Donald Trump. Okay, he does not care about you. You don't care. He doesn't give one inkling about you because you are poor. And to him, why does he care? But yeah, vote for me because I'm white. Go ahead, knock yourself out. He does not care. And you will get nothing out of the election because nothing is generated towards you. Sincerely yours, Carcino, to you West Virginians. Now that that's addressed, in the real scope of things, that's what it details. Oh no, the brothers got an opportunity now because the brothers helped get him in office. And all the brothers that he had that was repping him hard, and they was going against Kamala and saying all that, now they got to live up to it. Now, Trump got to provide y'all with some good suffice jobs instead of them black jobs he was talking about. Now, y'all got to hold his feet to the fire. He's the president of the United States now. So now y'all went out and voted for him. Y'all got to hold his feet to the fire. Oh, I didn't vote for Trump. I'm too intelligent to vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Kamala Harris either. I voted for me. They said you could write down who you want to vote for. I said, oh, okay, cool, me. Who's better to lead this country than me? So I wrote my name down there. That's who I voted for. So I had one vote for president of the United States, and that was me. Now, Smarter than Donald Trump. I'll say that much. Jerry said I did the same thing. My thing is this: I could never vote for Trump. It's like me voting for him is like downgrading myself. If I was to vote for Trump, I'll be downgrading myself. I'm saying I believe someone with that level of intelligence should be the president of the United States of America. Then what am I saying about us as a people? What am I saying about standards? I've just lowered the bar. I've lowered the bar and I've okayed lowering the bar. Cornel West wasn't on the ballot. Look. Had I saw his name on that ballot, I would have voted for Dr. Cornel West. He wasn't on the ballot. But they kept what's his name on the ballot, though? Kennedy Jr., even though he's saying, don't vote for me. They got me on the ballot. I don't know why. Don't vote for me. Vote for Trump. So they kept him on there just to steal votes. No, I voted for myself to be president. Yep, you had to write him in. No, I wrote myself in. And that's the point. If it's a write-in, well, I'm going to pick him over me. I know what I'm going to do if I get in the White House. I'm going to be like, look, I don't need half these people up in here. I'm bringing my uncles, my aunties. We all coming up in there. Hey, we up in here, White House. I'm like, yeah. Man, if I'd have got in the president of the United States, it would have been just like when Bernie Mac was the vice president with Chris Rock. And doggone, what was that? Head of state. Sir, NATO. Do you know about NATO? Oh, no, man. I don't want to talk about NATO. Oh, man, I thought you were talking about NATO Jenkins, man. No, it's the North Atlantic Treaty. You got to know about these things if you're going to be vice president, man. I thought you were talking about NATO. Do you know NATO? Do you know NATO Jenkins? And that's what I said. You don't know NATO? I don't know NATO. Man, oh man, that's a hilarious movie, man. Yeah, but it's just like to get into Congress, this is how most people, Eddie Murphy made the distinguished gentleman. The distinguished gentleman is exactly how people were getting into office. Most of these people were running off the name recognition. They didn't even have to have a campaign. Chicago, we had Carol Moseley Braun. She would always win every year. One woman, they came up in the city of Chicago to try to run. They had the woman, she changed her name legally to Carol Moseley Braun. Changed her name and got on the ballot. And they was like, she didn't want to come out, didn't want to make any appearances, no debates, nothing. She wanted the American people to vote for Carol Moseley Braun. Changed her name legally so she could steal an election. This is how corrupt this thing was going. Because in the movie, Eddie Murphy played the character, the guy, Jack Johnson, who was running and died, and he was in the election. So he comes in and what's his name? Jefferson Johnson. So his middle name is Jefferson. So now I could do his last name was Johnson. So he was like, look, I just use my middle name, Jeff Johnson. That's what it is. Jefferson Johnson. I'm Jeff Johnson. So now I'm running under Jeff Johnson. And he ran it, didn't do any commercials, just kept campaigning, and the white folks elected him. They like, who do we always vote for, honey? Johnson. Oh, okay, Johnson. Saw his name on the ballot and just kept pressing Johnson. And then that's how Eddie got into the damn Congress. So it's the same thing all over again. People voted on name recognition back then. But the days of identity politics is over. You got to talk to people now. People want to know about policies. You can't just bring out a concert no more and think that's going to work. People underestimate the power of the internet. And that's where they lost. Talk radio is beating crap radio like the Breakfast Club. You know, nobody for real is listening to that. People want to know what's going on in the world. And yes, you can talk to Black people about what's going on in the economy. You don't have to talk to us about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. And it's like, we don't care about all that. We want to know, hey, man, this economy, what's going on here? Why is this food so high? Hell, I can't even eat eggs no more. People, milk and eggs is up. What the hell? The economy is a mess, and you're the vice president of the United States of America. So they're going to be looking at you. That's where this election was lost. They don't trust Kamala Harris with the economy. They would trust Donald Trump over her with the economy. That's what it came down to. That's why the election went the way it did. And that is the facts. Is everybody else, see, that's a problem when everybody else can explain your plan but you. You got everybody in these different cities, all these politicians is explaining the Kamala Harris plan. It's like, well, why she's not explaining it? Y'all doing a good job of breaking it down. Why she ain't doing it? Oh, I ain't nothing like Van Jones. Now, that's one thing. This dude out here like he at a funeral. What do you mean? If you heard Van Jones today or last night, he was out there, man, you know, I just pray for this world. I'm just praying. Like the world finna blow up because Donald Trump done got in the White House. I'm like, man, calm down. Cash your DNC check. Stop it. No, I did not believe Trump would be back in office because I didn't believe they would allow it. Hell, shoot, they shot a gun. He won't stand still. Shoot. I'm like, you see, they tried to lock him up. Shoot, I'm like, shoot, they ain't gonna let him back in there. Right. The internet is powerful. People like Candace Owens made a difference to people. It wasn't just white people listening to Candace Owens this time. She had Black people listening. People was underestimating the internet and the power of the internet. So when everybody was looking around and saying, oh, okay, we get it now. This is what we're seeing. It was a whole different foundation, a layout. You had Judge Joe Brown, who was laying it out. And he's been talking for years about Kamala Harris. People were listening. Kwame Brown. Kwame was out here giving what he thought about it. Because he's somebody who owns property in Georgia. He's knowing about the cost of supplies and building, and he's hands-on. He's probably right now working on something right now and building projects on his property. And you know what they tried to say about Judge Joe Brown? Well, he was disbarred. Nobody believes him. He was disbarred. Do you know why Judge Joe Brown was disbarred? And he wasn't disbarred. He wasn't able to serve because of his condition from diabetes. They weren't going to let him be on the bench because of his complications he was having with diabetes. Nothing with the credibility of his word or anything for diabetes. But they don't tell you that. They just say, well, he was disbarred. To try to take away what the man was saying as if he wasn't making a good point. When you ask Kamala Harris about, like, what is your stand towards the blacks getting their money that's owed to them, reparations. When she was asked about that, she had the same remark. Well, we got to study that. Anybody who called themselves black will sit there and say they got to study reparations for black people? What in the world? That was a bad response. And she kept repeating that. Well, we got to study it. Study it? It should be studied. Studied? You had over 400 years. What the hell you mean studied? Y'all didn't say that to the other guys that got that money. But we got to be studied. America's got to wake up. Well, if Trump turns the economy around, let's see if he does it. Let's see how he does with the unions. Let's see how he does with this economy. Let's see if he give you blacks the jobs y'all been begging for. You know why they didn't think about asking Trump that? Because black men didn't care. And you know what Trump's response would have been? Yeah, I'm going to make sure. Yeah, you guys deserve it. I'm going to give it to you, and you're not going to get it. But he would have gave you a direct answer. Trump decided he was going to come up with a bill just for black people. He's the only one to ever say that. Don't mean he going to do it, but he got the balls to say it. You can be too political and cost yourself everything. They fumbled this campaign. And while everybody thought there's no way in the world they're going to vote for this man, he's insane, he's all these things, America has proved once again it is divisive, it is racist, but if they don't trust you, they're not going to vote for you. If they don't feel you're genuine, they're not going to vote for you. Period. People come on my YouTube channel because they say, hey, I know what he's going to say. He going to give me the truth. They make a choice to come over here. People subscribe to the Patreon because they say, hey, I'd rather pay this dude some money and subscribe to his Patreon channel because I know he going to give it to us raw. He going to give it to us the right way. Period. Ain't going to be no mincing around with what's happening. Now, here's the news. And this is big. Trump's first plan of action is going to be his biggest thing ever. He's not going to tackle education because that's too vast. Nobody does that. So he's going to have to make a big splash right off the gate. And don't forget to subscribe to the Nate Jones Story. He won't touch healthcare. Yep, there it is, the Nate Jones Story. Follow the Nate Jones Story. Nate the Snake Jones right there. Follow the Nate Jones Story all the way through. As Nate Jones got big news, as he is the new trainer for Devin Haney. Yep, the undefeated Devin Haney. New trainer is Nate the Snake Jones. So you got some great news coming up now. So that's why I say get to the Nate Jones Story, subscribe so that you can get all that footage coming up because it's going to get crazy over there. He's going to cut education and healthcare. They've been talking about this for 2 weeks. Well, now you're going to see. Now you're going to see. It's going to have to show and prove. Now, the brothers that went with Trump, he promised all these jobs. Let's see what he's going to do. What kind of jobs is going to be provided for you? Let's see what he does with this migrant situation, right? Let's see what he does to stop that. Because if he does what he did the last time around, and you get the same 4 years you got, the Obamacare, which was still going when he was in office, never stopped, never changed. Now they call it what it was always called, the Affordable Health Care Act. And they called it Obamacare. And guess what they call it now? The Affordable Health Care Act. Because they don't want to call it Obamacare no more because they see it's working. So they're not going to touch it. Now, now education is too vast. It's too crazy. You're not going to do that in your first term in there. So the only thing you can focus on is the economy. You're going to have to make a splash with the economy in your first 30 days or 60 days in the White House. You're going to have to make a splash. So right there, you're going to start thinking about the economy. And the cost of food is too high. You're going to have to deal with that. So you bring down gas, milk, and eggs. You've already did. That's all you got to really do in your first 60 days is bring down the cost of gas, milk, and eggs. And you've already on your way to the races. But like I told the brothers, if y'all voted for Trump, because Trump finna do this, he gonna fix that, he gonna get y'all some jobs. He gonna provide it, hold his feet to the fire. The same way you were gonna do Kamala Harris, the same way you better do Donald Trump. Don't tell me about what Trump said and he was funny. I don't care about funny no more. I don't care about no funny, what he said. Hold his feet to the fire. I keep telling you, Project 2025 is not his program. You got to stop using that. That's not factual. That administration is set up already. They got the House and the Senate, the courts. They had some of the things that was in Project 25, they're going to probably use. But a lot of that stuff in Project 2025 is so far out the reach, it will never be done. So Project 2025 was a good scare tactic by the Democrats to keep running it, even though it was not Trump's plan. Trump did not back that Project 2025 ever. So for him to go and use Project 2025 would make him the biggest hypocrite to ever step foot on that stage. Now, will he do some form of it? Probably, but it won't be like that. That thing is so all over the place. Like you talking about getting rid of the whole, you might well throw out the Constitution. We gonna be back in slavery. We go through Project 2025. Shoot, all our freedoms is over. Danny Mac, I don't care who vote for what. Long as you sign up for my Casino for Life Patreon, that's all that matters. I can care less about who another man votes for. You voted for who you thought and what you thought was the best thing for you. Oh, what's the hottest thing on the Patreon right now? Oh, this. NBA players right now are facing real trouble right now because of these girls here that I know. Well, I know one of them. The other one's her friend. Yeah, it's a big thing I got on the Patreon right now. These little childhood friends grew up, and things got a little hot and heavy with these NBA players. You know, imagine one girl getting plowed by 30 to 40 NBA basketball players a year. Yep. That whole story's on the Patreon, buddy. So make sure you get on the Casino for Life Patreon. Yep, that's what it looks like. Patreon, Casino for Life. So I never, ever, ever, ever am going to tell somebody who to vote for. Because the vote depends on what you want. Oh, do. Donald Trump is the president. The president is Donald Trump. Yes, he is. We so done with you elected and president. Donald Trump is the president. We elected Donald Trump. Trump. Killing black people is now a misdemeanor. Well, they blew it. They blew this election. After that debate, they had all the momentum and they blew it. She smoked Trump during that debate. And she let it be blown. She let everything be blown. Who is Nate Jones? Nate Jones is the trainer of Floyd Mayweather. You see, I know you see Roger Mayweather, you see Floyd Mayweather Sr. and all that, but the guy that really trains Floyd Mayweather, the guy that's the most important guy in his corner, is Nate Jones. That's why he was the third man in that corner. Yes, I thought she was going to win, but she blew it. They blew it. And they made a race that they had won close because of the way they decide to handle the last month leading up to the actual polls. Trump didn't have to do much because they did so little. They did so much damage thinking that it was already over. Trump had people go on to the Breakfast Club that embarrassed the Breakfast Club because the people that you got to represent your people were being embarrassed by theirs. When you got Angela Rye trying to speak up and all she wants to do is cut people off and not make any sense whatsoever and don't talk policy and don't have anything to back it up. And these guys are coming over there loaded with facts. You're doing it. And you're getting exposed on platforms that's supposed to be for you. Trump don't have to go on the Breakfast Club. He got people that can go on there and do the stuff and get it done. Who did Kamala Harris that she had that was on her team that could go on platforms and speak for her? She didn't have that. Like I said yesterday, Trump got these doggone Pakistanians at the door handing out pamphlets before you go in there. There's some information on, before you place your vote. And they got on Make America Great hats on. And they lined up out there. I said, man, she better get into it. They called it disgusting. It's disgusting what happened with what's that deal here? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Oh no. No, that's mainstream media, or what you would say woke Hollywood. People are tired of this woke movement too. That's another thing that hurt. because woke Hollywood, what they did was the mainstream media, those guys, they had an epic breakdown because Hollywood was losing money too. All these movies they kept putting out, Marvel with all these LGBT characters, changing them all up, and then we just check out. Men, like heterosexual men, just check out of this stuff. They don't want to see all that. They came to see the entertainment of the show. They don't want to see some personal agendas played out in the damn shows that they love. Now you turning characters that wasn't even, now this person's a trans on the show now. It's like, what's that in here for? This is a kid's show. So now it's like, now you're trying to get the kids into it was getting out of hand. And that's why people say, okay. Then they get these political people to speak out. You get Tom Hanks, you get all these other people to come out. Well, you won't believe what they do, man. Oh no. I never saw it like everybody else saw it. They waiting on her to concede the election. I mean, the election was over. Like Pennsylvania was their last gas, and that was a foregone conclusion. Wisconsin, like she lost a lot of close states, but it was done. So I knew, yeah, I'm gonna go and take a nap. It's been a long night for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a nap before I gotta go to this meeting today. So I want to say Donald Trump is the president. What would you expect from Donald Trump now that he's elected president? What y'all leave it in the comment section. Y'all tell me, what do you expect from him now? You got Trump. Either you voted for him or not, that's what you got. So what do you expect from him? And will you hold him accountable? All right. Thank y'all. Don't forget to like the page, One Crack News. Everybody, Casino for Life channel, the whole shebang bang. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Don't forget